My name's Jason, and this is a completely unscripted video about real estate wholesaling. You see, I've been a real estate wholesaler for just about 10 years now, and I've been around the real estate world for basically my whole life. I want to take this few minutes here to just share with you some things that I've found to be true and tell you about some things that are just straight BS. So stick around with me and let's talk about it. So, I started doing real estate wholesaling back in 2017. We've done just over 1,000 deals now, and I've done most of them while living outside of the United States. Before that, I was in a real estate family. I grew up around a mom that bought and flipped and held rental property. It's all I've known pretty much all my life. So I've seen it firsthand, and in fact, when I was 18 years old, my mom helped me flip a house, and I actually moved into it. It was a duplex, and it was an absolute disaster. Everything that could go wrong, it definitely went wrong, and I was not good at it at all. So I was 18 years old, and really more than anything, I was just arguing with my parents a lot, and I needed to get out of the house. I was just very bullheaded and stubborn, and this was my mom's attempt to kind of help me in business, but also, to get me out of the fighting in the house. So I did that, and like I said, it was an absolute disaster. Way over budget. The finishes weren't great. My family still owns that house to this day. That was a long time ago. It was a place for me to live for a few years and kind of save some money because I was renting on one side and I was living on the other side. So it was bringing me in a little bit of income. For most of my life, I guess you could say that I was a real estate investor. As a real estate investor, I bought property, fixed it up, and resold it. And I got to understand that process very intimately. Okay, dealing with contractors, delays, problems, going to Home Depot 27 times, that kind of thing. But in 2017 is when I really started learning what wholesaling was about. And the thing that I want to get across to you in this video today is that real estate investing and real estate wholesaling, to me, are just completely different businesses. Real estate wholesaling is really, it's a sales operation. It's a sales operation where the widget or the item that you're selling just happens to be your equitable interest or your contract. I mean, kind of a cheap way to say it is the house, That house, that deal, that's what you're really selling. You're not buying the property. You're not fixing it up. You're not going to Home Depot and doing all these things. And so it really took me until about 2020 to figure this part of it out that I'm going to share with you. And I hope you'll write this down because this is, I think, maybe the most important part of the entire video. Wholesaling is not real estate investing. Wholesaling is a table with 3 legs, and here's those 3 legs. Number 1, acquisition of the contract. Whether you're door knocking, driving for dollars, cold calling, cold texting, buying PPL leads, running your own PPC campaign, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, TikTok, no matter how you're getting it. Direct mail, we did a lot of direct mail back in the day. However you're getting leads and converting them into contracts, that's acquisitions. The second part of that table leg is transaction, and that's getting it from signed contract to close. What if it has title problems? What if you've got a probate and you've got 21 heirs and none of them like each other? What if the house is full of stuff and the only buyer you can find is a guy who wants it all cleaned out? How do you deal with those issues between the contract and the closing? That's transactional stuff, okay? And the final leg of that table is disposition. How do you get rid of the product that you have? And in real estate wholesaling, the product is quite literally the contract. You see, when you sign to buy a house from someone, you actually own something. It's called equitable interest. and you are able to sell that equitable interest to someone else. And that, in essence, is what real estate wholesaling is. Selling your contract, okay? So disposition is getting rid of the contract. So are you getting rid of it through Facebook? Are you getting rid of it through an email list that you've built up? Are you getting rid of it through contacts that you have in the industry? Maybe you're using websites like DealSpeed or InvestorLift. I actually hold the record for the largest amount of assignments sold my first week on InvestorLift. It was $450,000. So how are you getting rid of the properties? Disposition. So acquisition, transaction, disposition. That's it. That is the entire real estate wholesaling business. If you can master those three things, and then here's the key, speed up that flywheel, speed up that process until you're getting deals in and getting deals out as fast as possible. Because you see, at the end of the day, we have a limited amount of advertising budget. Now, whether that's $10,000 a month, $10 a month, or $1 million a month, there is a finite amount that each company and each person has, right? The sooner you can turn that investment, the sooner you can get the return on that, meaning you actually close the deal, you get it from an advertising spend to a close. The faster you can make that happen over and over and over and over and over, the more that flywheel begins to spin. I mean, think about it, for instance. Think if you spent $100,000 to buy a property, you spend 3 or 4 months fixing it up, 3 or 4 months to get it sold, and you're at 8 months and you get $200,000, and you go, wow, that's fantastic. I made $100,000 off my $100,000. I literally doubled my investment. Okay, that's how a real estate investor thinks. A real estate wholesaler thinks very differently. You see, we're going to take that $100,000 and pump it into advertising so that we can get contracts that we can transact and dispossess. We're going to get rid of those contracts as quickly as possible. We average about $15,000 to $20,000 on each contract that we do. Let's say that we get 20 contracts out of that $100,000. You very quickly can see the math. And the quicker we can make those happen, the more I can turn that $100,000. You see, the real estate investor, he can only turn it once every 8 months. But see, I can turn it every month or every 2 months, over and over and over. And I can do 4 or 5 times what the real estate investor does. So a lot of people think that real estate wholesaling is how you get started, and then you eventually graduate into real estate investing. And I would just say for this video that it's the exact opposite. I renovated and rehabbed and did real estate investing for 30 years of my life, did hundreds and hundreds of rehabs. And then one day I graduated to being a real estate wholesaler. Work on those 3 table legs. Get that flywheel spinning as fast as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.